What if nearly every major religion on Earth, and even many lesser-known belief systems, are not competing truths but different cultural lenses interpreting the same cosmic reality? Today's voyage may gently unsettle what you think you know about religion, history, and even yourself. But before we go any further, let me be clear. This is not an attack on faith. It is not an attempt to tear anything down. It is an invitation to see more clearly. What if humanity's oldest spiritual language was not written in books, but written in the stars? This is the forgotten science of astrotheology, the study of how celestial movements became myth, ritual, scripture, and ultimately religion itself. And once you truly see it, you can't unsee it. Ahoy there, nautical truth seekers. This is your esoteric captain, Aries Ezra, and you have just boarded the illustrious ship Nautical Awakenings, where we take daily deep dives and sail far beyond surface-level belief, right into the deep waters of truth. We masterfully navigate the turbulent currents of mystery and intrigue. If you're ready for today's expedition into astrotheology, then gather your parkas and your thinking caps. It's time to take action. Walk the plank and subscribe to the Nautical Awakenings crew. Be sure to ring the ship's bell so you never miss another underway. Hoist the sails and like the video. Toss over the mooring lines and share this video with your shipmates. Lastly, drop anchor in the comments and join the discussion in scuttlebutt. The whistle has blown, and the ship is now underway. Let's get nautical. Before there were temples, before there were scriptures, before there were kings, governments, or currencies, there was the sky. The sky was humanity's first clock, our first calendar, our first teacher. For tens of thousands of years, survival depended on understanding celestial cycles, when to plant crops, when animals would migrate, when floods would come, when winter would end. The heavens were not abstract or symbolic. They were intimate, immediate, and alive. The sun meant warmth, growth, and safety. The moon governed tides, fertility, and emotion. The stars were memory, fixed tankers in a changing world. So when ancient people spoke of gods, they were not inventing fantasy. They were personifying forces, encoding observation into story so knowledge could survive across generations long before writing even existed. Religion did not begin as belief, it began as observation, nowhere. Is this clearer than at one precise moment in the year, the darkest night, the winter solstice? To modern people, the winter solstice is a date on a calendar. To ancient people, it was a moment of existential dread. There was no electricity, no guarantee of survival. As days grew shorter and darkness stretched longer, people feared the sun might never return. Elders watched the horizon closely, and then something strange happened. For 3 days, the sun appeared to stop moving. It neither rose higher nor sank lower. It stood still. Ancient people did not have astronomical language, but they had pattern recognition. To them, the sun had died, and then, on the 3rd day, it began to rise again. This was not symbolic, it was cosmic resurrection. This is why the number 3 becomes sacred across cultures. 3 days in the tomb, 3 nights in the underworld. 3 days of darkness before rebirth. This is not coincidence. It is celestial mathematics translated into myth. The winter solstice was not just celebrated, it was participated in. Rituals were believed to help the sun return. Humanity was not separate from the cosmos. It was in a symbiotic relationship with it. This single event is the hidden root of countless religious traditions. In ancient Egypt, Horus, the divine sun, was born to the virgin Isis. His father Osiris was slain, descended into the underworld, and resurrected as ruler of the unseen realm. Osiris was not merely a god. He was the sun's nightly journey through the Duat, the star-filled underworld sky. In Rome, Saturnalia exploded in 2 days of feasting, gift-giving, and role reversals, honoring Saturn, the god of time itself, before the return of solar order. In Persia, Mithras was born from a rock at the winter solstice, witnessed by shepherds, celebrated with light, and known as the unconquered sun. In Norse lands, Yule marked the rebirth of light after darkness. The world tree connected heaven, earth, and the underworld, a cosmic axis mirrored across civilizations. Eventually, this ancient solar knowledge was absorbed into Christianity. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, or the Son of God, is born on December 25th, not because Scripture specifies it, but because the date already carried sacred solar meaning for centuries. He is born of a virgin, Virgo the constellation, he is followed by 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs. He wears a crown of thorns, solar rays. He dies, descends, and resurrects, just like the sun does every year. Understanding Jesus through astrotheology does not diminish his message, it amplifies it. Early Christianity emerged in a world already saturated with solar symbolism. The halo was not invented by Christians, neither was December 25th. These symbols were inherited because they communicated truth across cultures. Even the cross itself is not just a Roman execution device, it is an astronomical symbol, the intersection of the celestial equator and the ecliptic spirit crossing matter. Heaven intersecting earth, born again, is not merely moral language, it is astronomical language. Each year, the sun is born again at the solstice. Each day, it dies at sunset and resurrects at dawn. The Christ story teaches not just salvation, but alignment. The kingdom of heaven is not somewhere else. It is a state of consciousness achieved when the inner sun rises. Judaism preserves this celestial rhythm through Hanukkah, the festival of lights, celebrating illumination during the darkest season. The menorah reflects cosmic order, sacred geometry, and the tree of life itself. The Hebrew calendar blends lunar and solar cycles, acknowledging that time is alive. Islam follows a lunar calendar entirely. Ramadan, fasting, and sacred observances move with the moon. The crescent moon is not decorative symbolism. It is recognition that the psyche moves in rhythm with the heavens. The moon governs emotion, memory, intuition, and subconscious cycles. It pulls the oceans. Why wouldn't it pull us? This is not mysticism. It is physics meeting psychology. Hinduism may preserve the clearest astronomical memory of all. The yugas represent vast cosmic ages. Deities embody planetary forces. Festivals like Diwali celebrate light returning after darkness. Mount Meru is not simply a mountain, it is the cosmic axis around which existence turns. Buddhism internalizes this same language. Mandalas are maps of consciousness. The Bodhi tree is the axis between heaven and earth. Enlightenment is alignment, and inner light awakening. Across the ocean, the Maya tracked celestial cycles with staggering precision. Their temples were not symbolic monuments, they were functional star clocks. Equinox shadows became serpents descending pyramids, reminding humanity that time itself is sacred. So what does all of this tell us? Religion was never meant to divide humanity, it was meant to orient it. The sun outside mirrors the sun within. The seasons outside reflect the seasons of the soul. Winter is introspection, spring is rebirth, summer is illumination, autumn is release. Every dying and rising God story is also an initiation manual. The cave, the tomb, the womb, you must descend before you ascend. This knowledge was preserved in mystery schools, Egypt, Eleusis. Gnostic sects, initiates learned that gods were not external saviors, but mirrors of awakening consciousness. And when empires rose, this knowledge became dangerous. A population that understands cycles does not fear endings, it understands rebirth. So astrotheology was not erased overnight, it was slowly veiled. Myth became morality, ritual became rule, sacred calendars became state calendars, time itself became currency. Eventually, humanity was taught what to believe, not why the symbols existed in the first place. When modern science rejected religion, it unknowingly rejected the sky as well, leaving humanity spiritually orphaned, staring at screens instead of stars. Today, we live out of sync with the cosmos. Artificial light replaces the sun. Work schedules ignore biology. Sacred days become shopping seasons. And people wonder why they feel lost. Seasonal depression is not weakness. It is dissonance. Ancient people did not shame themselves for winter. They honored it, rested, reflected, prepared. What if burnout is not failure, but wisdom ignored? History itself moves through astrological ages. The age of Taurus gave us bull worship. The age of Aries gave us ram sacrifice. The age of Pisces gave us Christianity. And now Pisces dissolves. Belief gives way to knowledge. Hierarchy gives way to networks. Faith gives way to experience. We stand at the threshold of Aquarius. An age of awakening, decentralization, technology, and clarity. Even artificial intelligence mirrors this moment. Humanity confronting its own consciousness, creating reflections of itself, birthing new myths. So the question is not whether religion is true or false. The The question is whether we remember how to read the stars within. The story, Reclaiming Astrotheology, does not mean worshipping the sky. It means remembering you are part of it. The ancients were not primitive. They were poetic scientists, and the heavens have always been speaking. We simply forgot how to listen. If this voyage stirred something within you, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Nautical Awakenings, and share it with someone who feels the world shifting, because it is, and we need to recruit all the spiritual sailors to our decks as we can. If you enjoyed this naughty nautical excursion and desire more rations for your next expedition, feel free to check out the captain's stash and plunder all the booty found within. Until next time, stay curious, stay awake, stay aligned. And as always, fair winds, safe seas, and eternal light. I'll catch you out on the open waters. Peace and love, my spiritual shipmates.